Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another pen for unboxing and review. It's a pen that I've had in my collection for, I want to say, probably a couple of years now. And it's been featured in Currently Inked videos, and I just still haven't actually done an unboxing and review of it. So I figured I probably should look at doing so. So here it is. It's a Benu that you can see here. Comes in this lovely cardboard box there. If I go to lift the lid, you'll see a cardboard pouch. You'll see a product information and lifetime warranty concertina pamphlet. You'll see a straw bedding and normally one or two cartridges. And depending on the country, you may also get a converter, which I did with this one being in the UK. So I think let's remove it from this cardboard pouch. And this is the pen. Now this was a pen that I bought from Derek at Stonecott Fine Writing Supplies in the UK. And I wanted this one for a while. He kept selling out because it is a popular model. And this was before other retailers in the UK were carrying Benu, and I wanted this a lot, and I saw one morning it had come back in, he listed it on his site, so I decided I would buy this pen, and I honestly have liked it ever since. I've chopped and changed the inks I've put in this quite a bit. I used to have a sparkly ink, I now just go with a regular ink. But this is the Benu Euphoria Vodka on the rocks. You can see very beautiful pen. You've got a lot of sort of silver crystals in here, or silver glitter. And you can see there the clip is quite functional. You just pinch the end here, and the cap tapers down to the cap finial, which is there. And then tapers out to what is a black band here, cap band. And then it drops down slightly and then tapers down to what would be the blind cap or end finial there. Previously, Benu would make a lot of these with the black cap band. I know more recently they've actually gone into using other colours instead, translucent colours. And I have to say I am a little bit more of a fan of that. I think it would look nice on this pen as well if they did that, if they did a remake of the Vodka on the Rocks. The Euphoria models are faceted, so if I twist that around, you'll see the light shining there over the facets. But this really is quite a beautiful sparkly pen if you're into sparkly pens. If I unscrew the cap, you'll see it has a number 6 size. Ooh, just stabbed my finger there. A number 6 size Schmidt nib, and this is a fine nib that I have on this pen. It is actually quite comfortable to hold. It does have a black section, and you do see that through. I think that's partly why they did the black cap band, to try and hide that section a little bit more. Although you do still see a little bit of it peeping through. And I think it would have been nice if they do a remake of this later on, maybe a Vodka on the Rocks 2. Then it would be nice if that was really the same colour as this. I don't know if they can do that and sort of border threads into this material or not. I don't know. But it would be nice if it was a little bit more transparent, clear, perhaps. Although, thinking about this, you would then see the ink going through the section there, so maybe that might not be as great an idea for a clear. But if you could have it in this sort of cracked ice looking effect, then I think you wouldn't notice it as much, because you don't notice the converter here in the body as much either. Now, if I unscrew it, you will see the cartridge converter. It is full. It is a Schmidt K5 converter with a Schmidt nib. And I got this with a fine nib. I didn't have the choice. This was the only one that Derek had at the time. So I I had to have a fine. I probably could have said to him, hey, look, have you got a medium? If so, could you swap it out? And I'm sure Derek would have done. But I didn't. I thought, you know what, I'll just take what he's got. And this was just before one of the pen shows. I want to say it was the Newcastle. It may not have been Newcastle. It may have been the Chester Pen Show, the Northern Pen Show. And it was, I think, like a Wednesday or Thursday that I'd ordered it. At least from what I recall, might have been a Monday or Tuesday, but I know he was that following weekend. He was going to a pen show, and so if I want to post the cap, I can post the cap. It will do deeply and securely there. It is a bit long though. If you do post that cap, I do find that it's actually very comfortable in the size of my hand, not posted. If I want to hold it up on the threads a little bit higher, I can. I don't feel those threads much. They're quite shallow. There is a bit of a step down though between the faceted body here and the more rounder section there, but it's still, I find it is a very comfortable pen to write with. So I think with that, let's do a size check, we'll do a weight check, we'll do a pen comparison, and then we'll do a writing sample. So the full length of the pen, we are looking at about 148, 150 millimeters in length. The length of the cap, we're looking at 70 millimeters in length. And then we'll do a length check to the tip of the nib, or the tip of the tines. We're looking about 140 millimeters in length. So that is quite a good size pen. It's definitely what I would class as being an oversized pen. Anything normally above 130 or above millimeters in length, I would say is an oversized pen. I think let's do a weight check. So the full weight of the pen, and this is inked up, we're looking at just under 27.5 grams in weight. The weight of the cap, we're looking at just over 11.5 grams in weight. And then the weight of the body inked up is just over 15.5 or just under 16 grams in weight. So that is a fairly good weight pen. Not too light, but not too heavy, just right. But I really do like this pen. It's a pen that I write with a lot, and as you probably know, I have a load of expensive pens and not so expensive pens, and I just like writing with this pen. It's got a fine nib. I'm not normally a fine nib writing person. I typically write with medium nibs, but now and again I will go back to writing with fine, and I like writing with this fine. So I think with that, let's do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have a Mont Blanc, and this is the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle 1902 edition. We have a Mont Blanc, and this is the Le Petit Prince Aviator Douai. We have a Mont Blanc, and this is the Brothers Grimm. We have an Noto, and this is the Great Roof Metallic Edition. We have a Benu, and this is the Vodka on the Rocks. We have an Noto. This is the Magna Classic in the David Copperfield. We have an Noto Platinum Jubilee Sterling Silver, an Noto Coronation Sterling Silver, an Noto, and this is the Magna Classic in the Chased Amber Pearl. And then we have a Noto, and this is the Charles Dickens Christmas Cow 2023 in silver gilding. So I think let's now go into a writing sample. So this is the Benu, and it is the, actually I'll put in here the Euphoria, and it's the Vodka on the Rocks. And I honestly don't mind how this one writes. It's a fine, it's a Schmidt steel nib. I think with a dark grey ink, which I have in it now, it actually writes quite nicely. The ink in here is Diamine Earl Grey. I could probably, now that I have Diamine Graphite, put Diamine Graphite in there, but I do typically have a lot of Diamine Earl Grey bottles of ink. In terms of line variation, I'd definitely say that this is a fine Western line. If I push it, I can almost get maybe a medium out of it. It is a steel nib, so it's not going to flex that much. And if I continue the vertical lines, you'll see that there's no hard starts or skips going on there. So this nib is pretty well tuned. In terms of ink wetness, let's take a look. Now this is a fine nib, and we'll do a cross stroke as well. So fine nibs are going to write more drier. Typically finer and extra fine nibs are. But it's wet enough really to be wet, but you can easily turn the page in a notebook or journal without the need of waiting for that ink to dry, because it is more of a drier writing nib. Being a fine nib, it's putting down less ink, which is kind of what you would expect anyway. What do I like? What do I not like about the pen? I love that it's a Benu and it's a Euphoria model. I find the Euphoria models really do fit my hand really nice. I like the length, the size, the weight. I like that it's a cartridge converter, and I do like the cracked ice effect on this pen. And I do like that Benu are not sort of shy of naming their pens after drinks. I know some people in the community might say don't name it after drinks, don't name it after cigarettes or cigars. But honestly, I think Vodka on the Rocks, I think this, as a cocktail series, I think this is actually quite good. There's nothing I dislike about this pen. I think if I had slowed down and had the option, I would probably choose a medium nib for this pen. You can't, that I'm aware of, buy Benu Euphoria nibs outside of the Benu website. So at least I've not seen them at UK retailers like Colt Pens or even Stonecott Fine Writing Supplies. So I think if I had thought about this purchase and there was an option for a medium nib, I probably would have bought a medium, but I am liking the fine nib on this a lot. I do really enjoy writing with this fine nib. It's actually a nice fine nib. So there you have it. That's my unboxing and review, finally, of the Benu Euphoria Vodka on the Rocks in a fine steel nib. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye-bye.